Hello. We're back. We're back. And it's time to revisit the baby butters. If you guys have been here a long time, you know baby butters. If you don't know baby butters, you're about to be having some fun learning all the baby butters with me. And fun fact, baby butters was one of my very first merch shirts. Only sold a few of those, so maybe there's some of you out there with the baby butter shirt. It was such great artwork. Butter dripping down on a butterfly. Because today is Butterfly Pull-Up Day! And honestly, you guys, out of the few videos that we've hit for live coaching so far, being toes to bar, handstand walks, I think Butterfly Pull-Ups is the one I am most excited for because it's a very fun skill. There's lots of little notes that need to go with butterfly pull-ups as far as like, should you be doing them? And then of course, how to do them, how to progress on them safely. So that's what we get to talk about today. Not to mention, when it came to handstand walks, I was like trying to pile everything into 30 minutes. And it ended up being 40 minutes. So I think butterfly pull-ups is going to be a little bit shorter, right to the punch, right to skill work and drill work. Let me warm up my shoulders a little bit because I destroyed my shoulders yesterday. Ow, that hurts. Hi guys, how are you guys doing? If you guys can hear me, it always helps if you guys put a little wave or thumbs up in the comment section, just so I know I'm not just over here talking to myself. And then we're going to get on to butterfly pull-ups today. I got lots of fun things for us to go through, but while we're waiting for everyone to kind of jump into this video, know that I do not have a $5 fitness program on butterfly pull-ups. But it was one of the very first series that I did on my YouTube channel. Quality is low on the video portion side of it, the literal video. But the information, high quality. And I will build out a butterfly pull-up program that has warm-ups and strength accessory work for you guys. And that's the difference between all of your videos and all my video series that you're watching. It usually goes just through progressions and drill work, but the actual programs that I put together have warm-ups, mobility, strength accessory, whatever I feel like is much needed to help you guys get the skills that you want. Not only the skill's looking good, but make sure you're learning it safely and making sure your body's getting strong and you're getting everything that you can get out of working with the skill. So today on the menu is butterfly pull-ups. I love butterfly pull-ups, but it's definitely one of those CrossFit movements that can get a bad rap just because it's a little bit wild in looking. And while we're getting into that subject, butterfly pull-ups, do you gotta do them? No. Do I ever, here's another question, do I ever push on our athletes to learn butterfly pull-ups? No, because you don't have to learn them. But do I want people to learn them? Heck yeah, it's in the whole fancy gymnastic world of shows great body control. If you've met the requirements that I'm going to explain here in a second to move on to something fancy like butterfly pull-ups, that means you built a pretty strong foundation in your shoulders and your body's going to be safe learning such a fancy, complex, dynamic skill. But just like any high-skill gymnastics, yeah, it shows a lot of great body control, body awareness, core strength, shoulder strength. So that's why we want to learn this. It's kind of in that category of handstand push-ups. Do you need to do them? No. Are they cool? Yes. So we should do them. But learn them right. Okay, so how are we doing? Guys, feel free to ask. Rubber bands are so good for what? What is BF? Butterfly? What? Hi, guys. Ask me questions along the way. And I will answer them as we go, but I'll kind of stay in my rhythm too. We'll save a lot of the big questions probably for the end. But let's get into basics of butterfly pull-up. This is not like your normal standard kipping pull-up. Are you going to use the arch and hollow positions? Yes, but we're going to use them in a different way. We're going to time them differently. What I mean by that is your arch hollow kipping swing. This is basically categorize it as a different type of kipping swing. You're going to piece these hollows and arches together in a different kind of faster sequence to make the butterfly swing. But the reason it's not like your standard kipping pull-up is your standard kipping pull-up usually focuses more on, obviously, your midline from moving through those hollows and arches, but upper body wise, you're pulling a lot more from your biceps and your delts. Like if I bend my arms like the little T-Rex arms, hi. You're pulling a lot more from your biceps, and that's the top of your pull-up position. Let me do a few standard kipping pull-ups so you guys can see that. You're still working the same muscle groups you would for a butterfly pull-up, but that really bent arm is a lot of bicep-y work, a lot of delt, which you do need. But when we get into butterfly pull-ups, we're going to be talking about more of that sequence that you would see on something like a bar muscle-up. I actually like that we did toes to bar our very first time, and the reason I really wanted to do toes to bar is, like I said, it's the foundation of your kipping gymnastics. We talked a lot about this lat push down, and I told you guys it built into higher skill gymnastics like bar muscle-ups, but also butterfly pull-ups. We need to get on track and in our heads this hollow lat push down. When you do any of my gymnastics $5 programs on my website, you will see a lot of hollow lat push downs, hanging lat push downs, standing banded lat push downs. These guys are your wings. Your wings help you do all the big high flying gymnastics up on these pull-up bars. I'm so glad I didn't put a chalk bucket next to me. That's nice. We're going chalkless today. But that's what we need to get in our heads. So right away, first thing on butterfly pull-ups, start doing kipping swings with a different focus in mind. And that focus is, we're going to lean back away from the bar into a long, hollow lat push down. Am I bending my arms right here? Heck no. I'm getting the lats strong. Let me turn around and show you guys from the other angle so you guys can see this. Did I even show you guys a butterfly pull-up yet? Okay, this is the movement that we're doing. Whee! Okay, back to the first step. On to those big kipping swings, hollow lat push down. Look how far I'm leaning back. All right, whew, I'm already out of breath. So when we get into this big fancy butterfly movement, that was perfect. We put wheeze in one of my videos this week. I like that video. But when it comes to the butterfly pull-up, this is where it really, really cracks me up. A lot of people look at that big fancy arch position that you fall into that tells people, hey, that's the butterfly pull-up. That's the big butterfly position, is those feet are back behind you, kind of bent behind you, and you're in that big, long arch position. That is not where the work happens. Even though that's the cool part of this movement, that is not where the work happens. The work happens, as in many other gymnastics movements, in that hollow position. So put this in your brain. Put this on your notes. Get out your pencils. Students, get out your pencils. Write this down. The hollow body position is where you're feeling lighter. That makes you go up. As soon as you start to arch and fall into the oh so famous butterfly pull-up position, you are going down. That means, let me show you some bad butterfly pull-up examples. If you are a culprit of losing your rhythm on butterfly pull-ups and you get what I call sucked under the bar, and maybe it just freaking hurts your shoulders, you're making your body super heavy, you're probably just getting into this arch position well before you're doing the part where all the work happens, which is the hollow body lat push down. That first thing that happens before the big arch. So summarize that. Hollow make you go up, arch make you go down. Hollow make you go up, arch make you go down. Okay, got that? So that's why we put all of our focus on right from the beginning into developing this hollow lat push down. Some of us, if we've been doing standard kipping for a long time, or quite simply not ready to progress into butterfly pull-ups, might need stronger lats, might need a stronger core. That takes me to what I should have started all this off with. The requirements that we put on butterfly pull-ups around here, it can be different in any place, but what Matt and I have decided for Bolt and our athletes, the requirements you should have before starting to learn butterfly pull-ups, 5 connected strict pull-ups. That's a big one. That's how strong your shoulders need to be, because this movement puts a lot of torque on those shoulders. So that is a program I do have on my website, strict pull-ups. But yes, we've hosted a butterfly pull-up clinic before, meaning we spent over an hour trying to teach our athletes that wanted to learn butterfly pull-ups. But in order to get into that clinic, they had to demonstrate to us 5 strict pull-ups, a connected set of 5 strict pull-ups. If they couldn't do it, they weren't allowed in the butterfly pull-up clinic. That's because we're serious about keeping our athletes safe and protecting their shoulders. So that's our requirement around here. Back to it. After that hollow lap push down, we're going to go into what's called 2 swings plus a circle. And this is when we start venturing into what we call baby butters. Now, my tip to anyone starting to learn butterfly pull-ups is take the whole chin over bar, getting your chin over the bar out of the equation right now. Okay, take that out of your focus. We're going to keep this movement way smaller than it needs to be. We're going to go 2 little baby kipping swings and start focusing on the circle. It looks like this. 1, 2, hollow arch. 1, 2, hollow arch. Okay? Sometimes, let me take down one of these big boxes. I like to start athletes with just working on their core and working on the timing and having 1 foot on a box so they can slow down the movement a little bit more. Watch this. I got a big box right here, so I can keep 1 leg on the box and have them just go super, super slow through the hollow lap push down and then falling into the arch. Here we go. We'll do that same drill. Notice I have my right foot on the box right here. Kipping swing 1, 2. There's the hollow position. Now I do a slight pull with my arms, not too much right now because I'm not very tall on the box, and then fall into the arch, back in the hollow position. 2 swings plus a circle. 1 kipping swing, 2 kipping swing, go right into that hollow lap push down. Use it, use it, use it, and then you fall into the arch. Watch it again. 1 kipping swing, 2 kipping swings, hollow lap push down. Fall into the arch, and then you can go back into that kipping swing. So we're still using hollows and arches. It's just timed differently. One more time right here before we get this big box back out of the way. 1, 2, hollow lap push down, fall into the arch. Bam. Get this guy out of here. All right. So 2 swings plus a circle is your start of learning the big fancy movement of butterfly pull-ups. Let's watch it, and I want you guys to notice how small I keep these attempts right here. 1, 2, little baby circle. Let's look at a bad example and what usually happens to athletes learning this for the first time. What I'm going to do is that mistake I showed you guys earlier is basically miss the hollow position and try to go straight into the big fancy butterfly arch that everybody knows, and watch what that does to my body. 1, 2, arch. So if I just throw my chest out like that, I never started the beginning of my circle, the way up, and I just kind of flopped it, put a lot of torque on my shoulders, and you're not going to find any rhythm like that. Your circle has to start with that hollow lap push down. That's how you start the circle on this side. And a good cue that's helped a lot of my athletes strengthen their lats, get into the hollow lap push down a lot better is this. Keep your arms straighter, longer. Remember I said on kipping pull-ups, we're doing a lot of this. You're still using your lats and everything like that, but it's a lot of this bent arm position. The butterfly pull-up starts with those long arms to make the hollow lat push down. So here we go with another good example. Arms straight, arms straight, little circle. And really, you should be going so slow that you can stop and feel that hollow position. I can even say when I'm in the hollow lat push down before I fall into the arch. I'll do that for you guys. Ready? 1, 2, here's the lat push down right there. And then I'll fall into my arch. That is what we need to put all our focus on, exaggerating how long you're holding that hollow lat push down before anything else. That's 2 swings in a circle. Stay on that drill until it feels nice. Nice and floaty. You guys are CrossFitters here. You guys know how good a really good technical snatch feels in Olympic lift when you just nail it. Butterfly pull-ups are in that complex skill category where if you do it right, you're like, oh, that felt amazing. Or if you do it wrong, it just feels like, that's how you know you did it wrong or right. Just go by feel. So when you can keep getting those really, really nice 2 swings in a circle, then it's time to get to the fun stuff, the baby butters. Baby butters are those circles starting to get connected. Keep it small, like this small, like this small. I don't care if your chin doesn't go over the bar right now. This small, okay? Watch. We're going to baby butters. Baby butters. Let's look at them. If you need to start with a few swings in front, that's fine. But they are going to look like this. Whee! My chin is not anywhere near the top of the bar. But this gives me a chance to focus on my rhythm of pushing down, using that hollow lat push down with those long arms. What is my core doing in the hollow lat push down? My midline should be in the hollow body position. And then I fall. At the last second, I fall into the arch. Because what does the arch do? It pulls me back down. Hollow goes up, arch goes down. Look at your notes. All right, baby butters. This is where a lot of you guys are going to spend pretty much the rest of your butterfly pull-up journey getting the hang of those baby butters, because after that, you're just growing them bigger and bigger and bigger. But I can't stress enough on how small you should keep this movement, because it's going to teach you your rhythm, what your midline is doing. It's going to get your shoulders ready for this movement. That's a little bit funky on them at first. Awesome. Take a moment away from, this has been our number 1 focus, being able to do this hollow lat push down. Were you guys looking at the rest from here on down, what that was doing? What have we been learning in gymnastics the last 2 weeks? By the way, I gave away the answers to my Instagram question the other day. The word I've been saying the most, besides point your toes and squeeze your butt in gymnastics, is long tension. Gymnastics is a different type of beast when you're trying to flex your muscles, when you're trying to use your muscles. We're not broken or in these hinge positions that we are for lifting. We're long, we're tall, and stretched to create tension. We did it on toes to bar. We did it for learning handstand walks. And now, if we look at another set of these baby butters, you guys are going to see long tension. Look at my whole entire body. Is it doing that big, fancy arch that everybody knows butterfly pull-ups for? Not right now, because you don't need that. You're working on developing your midline, and how to do that, how to create all that long tension and keep your core squeezing, your trunk squeezing, is by being long. My feet are actively reaching to the ground on these attempts. They don't get, really, my knees don't start to bend until we get to big butterfly chest to bars, because it's just a longer circle and I need a little bit more time to get through that whole circle. When I do my regular butterfly pull-up that are just chin over bar, watch this. This is real talk. This is what I do for chin over bar butterfly pull-ups in workouts. What do my legs look like? Y'all see that big wee butterfly position that everybody knows butterfly pull-ups for? Nope. Because you don't need that when you're learning chin over bar butterfly pull-ups. You need long tension. You need your trunk being long, squeezing your bottom, reaching those feet long to the ground. When you get to the chest to bar pull-ups, the circle is longer, therefore your knees are naturally going to bend just because they need to start pulling you back into the bottom of the circle. I'll show you guys when we get to the very end. But probably a lot of us are focused on chin over bar butterfly pull-ups right now. So those are baby butters. From baby butters, once you start being able to connect at least 5 with great solid control, it's time to start growing them into big butterflies. And the only thing we change, guys, is how patient I'm being in the hollow lat push down. With some cues with that is let your toes rise a little bit higher. Let that hollow lat push down be a little bit bigger, meaning just keep your arms straighter longer. And then you're going to be creating that circle just a little bit bigger. Let's start small and grow bigger. And I want you guys to focus on how long I'm staying in the hollow lat push down. Here's some baby butters. Ready? Here's some small ones. Now we're going bigger. Just taking us longer to get around that big circle. So I'm having to be extra patient in that hollow lat push down. And that's it. Those were chin over bar. I was getting my chin over the bar. And then to get them over to chest to bar, it's even higher. Chest to bar, a lot of people struggle with butterfly chest to bar pull-ups because they don't have the lat strength yet. How do you build the lat strength? You do lots of those. Reps on reps on reps, but good reps. Let's look at some mistakes really quick, and then I'll get to some questions. Some mistakes we talked about in the beginning. Missing the hollow lat push down. Getting sucked under the bar. If you have athletes doing butterfly pull-ups, why is my grip not? There we go. If you have athletes doing butterfly pull-ups and they lose their rhythm and they start getting like sucked under the bar and going all crazy like that, tell them to wait longer in the hollow lat push down. Tell them to get their shoulders back behind the bar. Get your toes higher so we can create that hollow lat push down. If you lose your rhythm and you start getting really janky on those shoulders, you're probably just missing the hollow position. You're going way too fast into that big arch, or maybe you haven't developed enough lat and core strength right there. There we go. Grip. Positioning, just like I told you guys for all of my gymnastics, man, I slap these puppies over the bar. You can go thumb under, you can go thumb over, but get those hands on top of the bar so you can do this. Push down. Just like our bar muscle-ups. We're going to do bar muscle-ups soon, too. What else? I'm always a fan of the towel drills in gymnastics, keeping your feet together. You got to keep those legs super long. Don't worry about that big, fancy butterfly arch position. You guys don't necessarily need that until we get to chest to bars. Whew! This has been like the most out of breath I've been. How we doing? Questions for me? Why are my comments not showing up now? Okay. Yes, we talked about wings. Those are your lats. Ask me questions, guys, if you guys got them. I think my comments are showing up. Hi, how are y'all? Oh, hey, Brittany. Are you coming back tomorrow? I'll see you tomorrow. Cool, cool. Well, let me make sure I got everything covered that I wanted. Cool. Butterflies. We did hollow lat push downs. The idea of changing that kipping pull-up from pulling to hollow lat pushing down on the bar. Lean back. Get into that hollow lat push downs. Keep those arms straighter longer. The big thing that I want you to keep in your head. Hollow makes you go up. Arch makes you fall down. As soon as you start arching through your belly, you start changing your position from this to this. You get pulled down to the ground. Then you go to 2 swings in a circle. Keep it small. Small, 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 small. Going through 2 swings in a circle and into baby butters. And then from there, when you're showing control, when everything's starting to feel good and you're hitting a good, nice rhythm, then you can start growing it bigger and bigger. Let's finish with a demo of big butterfly chest to bars. You guys will see my knees bend a little bit, but it doesn't mean I'm losing all of my midline, my tension through my midline. I'm still reaching long. There you go. It's just a bigger lat push down. Toes are coming higher. Takes longer to get around the circles. What we think? I'm going to wrap it up right there, because I'm out of breath and I'm sweating. Okay. All right. I'll be on the Homegos Facebook group for a couple minutes before I got to start getting ready for coaching. I'm doing a lot of things as far as I've been a little bit quiet on merch because I got a huge project coming up, and I'm excited. Hopefully it works. If it works, I'll be excited to show you guys. All the videos, we're having a lot of fun, always shooting that. Appreciate you guys always hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.